Ladies, gamers, and gentlemen, welcome to BelleNOiR Starcraft 2 YouTube casts. Today we have a game of Starcraft, of course, between Core Darkstar, the green Protoss player spawning here in the top left position on bel'shir Vestige, and the blue Terran player RapeGGII. That is an interesting name if I ever saw one. Now, Darkstar, some of you may be familiar with this name. I think he was formerly on Team Millennium, and currently he is on Team Core. One of the newer teams, I think, that have kind of popped up in the recent years. Excuse me, months. Whew. Years. What are you on about, BelleNOiR? So yeah. Going to be an interesting PvT, I assume, here. And this is a private match, so this might have been as part of a tournament. It might have been just these two guys knowing each other and just wanting to practice a little bit. Or it just might have been something completely different, which I'm not aware of, in which case, please forgive me, I'm just a caster. I mean, if I had to do research on every single replay I would probably do nothing else than research replays. And I just want to cast, you know? I just want to cast. Anyways, Darkstar, both actually, Darkstar and RapeGGII opening up with a fairly standard, in a fairly standard way. Yep, Darkstar kind of wanted to get out with that probe, but not really managing to do that, as RapeGG does lock him in. Interestingly enough, though, we don't have a Reaper coming out. It's going to be a Marine, and this should tip Darkstar off to this being a... well, it can be... there we go. This being a factory follow-up. I was kind of thinking about a reactor on the barracks as well, but for that, RapeGG had a little bit too much gas, so going to be a factory follow-up. This can be a variety of things. More often than not, you as a Protoss player are going to prepare for two, and those are Widow Mines, either, you know, a Widow Mine Marine push or poke at your natural, or a Widow Mine drop, or Hellions, or both. But usually it's one or the other. And we see the starport going down immediately. Still one gas, so not going to be Cloaked Banshees, and it is going to be a Widow Mine drop. Now, Widow Mine drops, they do have a timing of approximately 7 minutes unloading into your base. So, you know, if you put down the robo facility enough in advance, then you should be fine, because you will have detection. Or you can go for a forge, but that requires having pylons near your mineral line, building a cannon there, etc., etc., etc. So it's just kind of a stylistic preference, really. But before that happens, RapeGG is just going to be using those Widow Mines for defensive purposes versus any kind of possible Oracle harassment, as he's not scouted. He has taken the Watchtower with the scouting SCV, but other than that, he has not scouted any proxy locations, nothing of the sort. So Oracle's still a possibility for him. He wants to be sure that he doesn't die to stuff like that, so that's why he's burrowing that Widow Mine up here to catch any incoming oracles. Meanwhile, he's going to be producing Marines non-stop. He is getting his natural expansion, as we can see here. And once the first medevac is out, I suspect that he will be moving out together with the Widow Mines. Yeah, he's going to pick up the Widow Mine. There we go. Going to pick up the second one, or maybe just the Marines. Yep. Picking up the Marines, one more Widow Mine, and away we go. Now, if we look here, we have two observers being chrono boosted. One will be used to scout the base of the Terran player, and the other one will be used in conjunction with the main army to defend versus this Widow Mine drop. The Mothership Core should be able to initiate Photon Overcharge as soon as that medevac gets there. Darkstar sees that as well. His reaction time is not the best though, and this allows the Widow Mines to unload. And yep, 1 kill on one Widow Mine and 3 kills on the other. Darkstar not pulling his probes far enough. But now that the Observer is here, that Widow Mine will be killed off. But RapeGG did save 1 Widow Mine there, and 3 Marines out of 4. So very well done, but hardly the damage that RapeGG was looking for. You know, when you open up like this as a Terran player, when you go for a 1-1-1 opening into Widow Mines, you have to do more damage than that, because you are delaying your expansion by quite a lot compared to the Protoss, who will be expanding straight after his Cybernetics core finishes. He knows he's got the time on his side. He knows he doesn't have to build any units, because you will be teching. You will not have a large standing army. Oh, that medevac does go down, but the Widow Mine does unburrow, and this one probe will pay the price of that, but that is still good. 40-second recharge time on that Widow Mine, which means all the probes can go back to mining. And Darkstar is already saturated at his 2 bases, whereas RapeGG still has a long ways to go. His stim is delayed. Not done yet. He does have the advantage of having medevacs and therefore mobility, healing, all that good jazz. But yeah, Darkstar, he's got the economy on his side, and that's way better. He'll be moving into Colossus production right now. Again, no need to get Colossi that fast as you ordinarily would have, because your opponent's stim will be delayed by quite a lot. So why should you be getting those heavy-hitting units straight off the bat? Instead, Darkstar elected to go for earlier upgrades, and I really like this choice. This will pretty much make his army unstoppable in a couple of minutes versus the army of the Terran player, because if we take a look here, we have double NG base, but no upgrades are being researched, which is definitely a mistake. But with the economy, or lack of economy, that RapeGG has, he cannot really afford it. Only just now finishing his refineries at the natural expansion, and he's just not mining enough gas to warrant queuing up double upgrades at this point in time. And with the Twilight Council finishing, Darkstar will have the opportunity to move into 2-2 upgrades straight away, and optionally even Storm. For the time being, he's going to try and start looking at how to take a 3rd base. RapeGG is moving forward, now with the stim done, and plenty of medevacs in the air. He thinks he can take on this army. Well, he could, if there were no force fields. So his stim's in, and that's what I talked about. That's exactly what I talked about. He did, now, granted, he didn't lose very many units there. That is true. He didn't lose very many units there. Take a look at the resources lost. That's not a huge difference. I know it may seem like much, 2 times the difference, but really it is not. 400 minerals difference in units, that's like 8 Marines. Alright, so 3rd base going up for Darkstar. RapeGG having to pull back. He is way behind in supply though, and Darkstar will start shooting ahead in supply heavily here in a moment, because he's got all the units he needs for the time being. I really doubt he will be getting a 4th Colossus, because right now the Terran should be getting Vikings, and indeed we see that he is. Even a 2nd starport so that he can continue Viking and medevac production. Keeps scanning, wants to check on the timing of the expos. Doing a good job here, and sending a medevac over there immediately to deny that base, but unfortunately the medevac was spotted by Darkstar. He's going to be very unpleasantly surprised with this snipe. There we go. That's a net loss right there. I mean, RapeGG did not get anything in exchange for that medevac full of units. So now the resources lost show a huge difference. And Darkstar, you know, he's 40 supply ahead, he is maxed out on probes, and right now he's just going to continue to warp in units. Storm is on the way, 2-2 upgrades, just now finished. He's moving into 3-3 now, with the Terran player only having 1-1 to his name. And because this armory was so late, 2-2 will not have started immediately after 1-1 is finished. Only just now RapeGG will have the option to queue that one up. And Darkstar controlling the game so far, spreading his units all across the map, and as his minerals start to rise up, he's going to be just adding more gateways, adding more expansions, and waiting for those Templar to accumulate enough storms, enough energy for storms. We have Blink in play as well. Charge will finish in a little bit here, and Darkstar just looking so good. Even stopping these buildings from construction with a zealot or a probe, or what was it? So, yep. A lot of cannons going up for Darkstar, and I think he will push once he maxes out. Oh my god, these are going to be Archons and Zealots, and yeah, he's going for it. He is maxed out, he knows that. There's no point in waiting. He can even take a 4th base behind this as he's moving forward. Here we have the proxy pylons queued up, a bunch of them actually. And what is this? A random missile turret. Well, you are not long for this world, missile turret. There we go. And yeah, since Darkstar has complete and utter map dominance, he's going to know about every single army movement of RapeGG. He can try and intercept these units right now. Blinks under the Vikings, but the Mothership Core goes down. This is not a good position for Darkstar to fight in, actually, but the storms are so good. And RapeGG has to pull back, and now there is a 70 supply difference between these two guys. Still 2 Colossi remaining. 3-3 upgrades just now clicked in. And versus the 1-1 of the Terran player, this is just going to be a slaughterfest. At the same time, Zealots in the 3rd base of RapeGG. And speaking of GGs, I don't think those of the Terran player are too far away. Watch the storms. Watch the storms. There we go. Unfortunately, these storms, of course, hurting the Protoss player more than helping him. But does it matter at this point? No, it does not. As RapeGG taps out of the game as he types the GG in. And that's it. So we'll see you guys in another video. I hope you liked it. If you did, click the like button, please. And if you have anything to say, there's the comment section below the video for that. Or you can send me a message on Twitter or Facebook, whichever you prefer. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, stay safe, good luck, have fun, and remember to storm first and ask questions later. See ya!